I'll be damned. They can still speak. They remember the people who did this to them. Henrik's balls his fist in powerless rage, then he frowns in thought. Perhaps a little biomancy will allow us to draw the fragments of knowledge out of them, or it will trigger further changes. Not missing Pascal's sober interest in proceedings, which he is dutifully recording in a data slate, Abelard raises a brow. Esteemed Magos, these are your comrades. If I may ask, do you feel any compassion for them, or at very least regret? Regret for the losses that these poor people represent to the Adeptus Mechanicus? Negative. What I am currently observing is not my tech comrades, but merely their biological functioning remains fashioned into a specimen of an unnatural perversion of technology. I am under no directive to feel any affinity for such specimens. Henriks, let this go. You're only prolonging their suffering. Henriks nods. I am inclined to relieve their suffering. Every moment of existence in such a state is pure torture for people locked in these sheets. It seems to me your mind is already made up. These poor people need deliverance from their suffering. Henriks wavers for another moment and then leans over the cogitators. Each mutant has cable attached. I may not know the nature of these machines, but it isn't too difficult to increase the voltage. This switch here. You hear the crackle of electricity, the wires glow with blue sparks, and the creatures locked in the cages drop lifelessly to the floor. The sharp tang of burned meat hangs in the air. That's that then. But do you know what bothers me, Rogue Trader? The number of people here. There are too few. The lower levels of similar manufacturers are inhabited by millions. What happened to the rest of them? Henrik shakes his head. I know. I won't like the answer. Let's go. We'll still haven't done what we came here to do.
This place is steeped in corruption, which means that it must be cleansed with fire down to the last crevice.
Sister, tame your fervor. Your zeal is laudable, but first I must ascertain the intentions of the archenemy, not crush its manifestations without a second thought.
Data vault. The massive cognitator grows out of the metal bulkheads like a grotesque tumor. A hollow roar sounds from deep within the metal housing. Whatever spurred the computer into action, it has enough power to supply a small command center. As soon as your eyes fall upon the cognitator, you feel a tingle in your temples. Every nook, Every component of the machine radiates a sense of wrongness, one that is difficult to explain but less palpable for that. It is as though the construct itself defies the laws of physics and perspective. Henrik makes a warning gesture. His voice, ringing slightly with tension, is threaded with disquiet. Stop, Svinto. That is the creation of the archenemy. Don't go near it. You have done enough for me and my mission. Don't put yourself at risk now. As soon as Henrik takes another step toward the cogitator, it emits a deafening shriek like hundreds of metal needles driving into toughened glass. As though sensing the stranger, whinging, Henriks approaches the control panel and bends down toward the screens. Despite the heat clogging the room, you feel an ice-cold breeze. Henriks is clearly using his psyker abilities to try to fend off the pernicious effects of the chaos artifact. The Omnissiah's grace has not touched this object. This mechanism was not desecrated, but born flawed and unnatural. Iron must profane. Initiating observation log. Let not fear stand in the path of knowledge. You just said this thing is an abomination, yet you're going to immerse yourself in it in order to study it? Doesn't thought repel you? The tech priest raises his uncomprehending gaze to Jay. Squeamishness is not a relevant factor. I have conducted a relevant assessment. The risk of spiritual harm is acceptable. The importance of obtaining the information is critical. Keep your distance and wait. A minute passes, then another. You watch Hendrix examine the cognitator, his eyes scan the screens, his hand darting from reel to the lever, sometimes hovering uncertainly over the next switch, which immediately receives a coating of frost. At some point you hear his voice, almost a whisper, barely audible above the clanging, roaring machine. Sacrifices. More and more sacrifices every minute. Henrix looks at you, his eyes darker now, appearing almost black in his white face. Hecatomb. The Terraminians. The womb of this cursed machine is down in the lower levels. The auxiliary enumerator controls the system for delivering molten waste under the manufacturum's main building. This cognitator is fueled by the energy harnessed from thousands of people who are flowing beneath our feet as slag waste as we speak. But I cannot even imagine the reason for sacrificing all these people. It's inconceivable. Now we know why the fabricator censor prized this monster so highly. The cursed tech priest and his associates created something that went beyond the limits of the Omnissiah's power. This machine is designed to process myriad possibilities using warp sorcery. It has almost finished its task. It predicted the future, Sinto. Henriks, are you alright? He tries to muster a reassuring smile, but it comes out looking more like a grimace. I'll be fine. It predicts the future? How is that even possible? Do not attempt to gain any insight into the essence of the machines corrupted by the archenemy. At least, not if you value your soul. I have encountered the heretics' mechanical abominations before. To truly fathom their nature is to allow a particle of death into your heart. But the fruit they bear, no matter how abhorrent their instruments, the fruit they bear could not be useful. Henrik's clouded gaze suddenly clears and he glares at the cogitator. No, the cult's filthy ravings are not worth that. What we can extract from its storage drives will be enough. We need to let the cogitator finish its task, otherwise thousands of people will have died for nothing. Heretical. That's cut this power supply. We need to stop the cogitator for the sake of the people still alive down there. Henriks vacillates for a second, then shakes his head as though clearing away a mental fog. I almost succumbed to the archenemy's old trick. The lure of the unattainable, the primary of all traps that chaos sets for unwary souls. Henrik's movements are exact and purposeful. Unlike his earlier operation of the cogitator, one after another the cogitator screens begin to fade to black, and the roar coming from inside the machine quietens to a barely perceptible howl, in which you imagine you hear notes of dejection. Henriks bends over the keys and flinches as if an electric shock. His head snaps back unnaturally, and you see his lip moving. The cogitator lets out a roar that grows louder by the second.
Give me the power to eradicate my enemies.
Okay, let's see here. So we will move you
Am I getting paid for this?
to there.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
And then we will just make you shoot as well. That's good hits.
Don't get too cocky. Too bad I never leave debts unpaid.
It shields me.
I don't remember if I saved.
I will do my duty. It will be done.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Don't you dodge my attacks.
Victory is an exemplary strike.
He almost
Back and forth.
almost killed the entire boss himself. Almost.
Actions will speak. This be a warning to all who oppose us.
Of course.
It's nothing.
Alright, let's finish this guy.
As the Emperor commands, I'll do it. As the Emperor commands,
Let's grab this guy.
For the throne's glory. But of course, Lord Captain. I won't object.
Request approved. Your desire condemns you. Oh, my ears are ringing.
I know what I'm doing, usually. I can do that with the right incentive.
The old desire function successfully terminated.
Very good, very good. Let's see.
Indeed. At your beck and call. I took care of this one. Follow my lead.
Oh, I can't. I will stay there then.
Victory is imminent.
Okay, let's see.
Defiance will be done.
More damage.
Commands. And so it shall be.
Let's try the new gun.
Rejoice in service.
Oh, I didn't get a new action
I cannot
points.
comply.
That's typical. Well,
the enemies of the Emperor will be undone. I'll do it.
let's see here.
Let's see to it.
Charge.
For the throne's glory. Let's see to it. Holy terror, smite your enemies.
We'll shoot you. Can't do that. Okay.
Requests approved. The order is contrary to dogmatic protocols. My competencies are not that.
Alright, let's see here.
You've got a problem. I've got a prize.
You, my Emperor! Power resides in the will of the righteous.
Oh no. Mistakes were made. Okay, we're doing this.
It will be done. You are target.
Missed one. Okay, let's shoot this one.
I will not. Getting towards our ultimate victory.
What the hell is that? Like chain lightning? Killed my own teammate. I didn't know it was gonna do that.
But of course, Lord Captain.
But of course. Wildfire?
Naturally. I won't object.
There we go.
Torches of light like this.
A moving target lives longer. I can do that. Never fight failure. I hold all the cards.
Okay, so we'll use that in other situations.
The Emperor commands. And so shall it be done.
Can barely hit anything with that.
I'd like to, but I can't.
Oh, great.
Running by miracle override.
Living on the edge.
Okay, let's see here. He
Indeed.
190, it's pretty tanky.
I will do my duty. An exemplary strike. A tactically sound approach. At your beck and call.
More damage. What's this? We'll do this one as well.
Rejoice in service.
Increase critical. What does this do? The Master Tactician empowers their next attack to deal 4% additional damage for every stack of tactical advantages. I don't even know what that does.
I will not be deterred.
Let's use it.
And so it shall be. This be the law to all who oppose
Oh, I
us.
just need to use my skills. It makes much more sense now. 153. Henrik stares at the smoldering ashes of the demon and at the destroyed cognitator. The furrow of his brow slowly smooths out, his face looks almost content. The creation of chaos is no more. I hope the fabricator sensor did not have time to pass on the secrets of this creature to his associates. And I hope that the survivors down on the lower levels can hold on until we liberate Kiavagama. I saw something happen to you, Henriks. What happened when you touched the machine? Henriks jerks his head and waves away the question, his movement sharp and unnatural. We'll talk about it later. Later, but not. But right now. Henrik's eyes settled on you. I must thank you, Svinto. Without your help and cooperation, I doubt I would have reached the depths of Kiavagama and learned the truth behind my agents. Dispatches and report. I would never have ended up here, and I would never have succeeded in hampering the cult's activities. So, the question is, where is his agents? They did dispatch and report, but are they still around? Dare I hope, esteemed interrogator, that your keen interest in this von Valancius world has been satisfied? Oh, apart from the fact that the world is still seized by the archenemy's corruption, its populace is infected with heresy, and the once sacred machines of its manufacturer have been turned into weapons against humanity. Quite satisfied, yes. My business on Kiavagama is concluded. It is time to return to the mission that brought you to the industrial world. The only thing I ask of you is an audience when we return to the ship. Henriks bows his head and to signal that the conversation is over. Lore of the Imperium. We'll go ballistic skill, but we can't. Perception. Let's see. $42. Let's go with that. He's good at that. Strength, toughness. We can go toughness. We can go weapon skill. Toughness. Let's see here. Demolition is taken. Laura Sinos, no, she's weak on that. Medicare. Ballistic perception then. Could go toughness as well, but